Hey guys, as I burn down my house. What's up? What's up, say Robbie? What's up, cats meow? Hey Dee Dee, hey Ainsley, hey Carol. I love you too, Carol. Hey Stace, hey Herbie Herbs. Hey Laura. Hey Janelle. Hey Jules, hey Tawanda. Hey Huckleberry, hey Wendy. Hey Lovable Rogue. Hey Red Dragon, hey BL, hey Tawny. JS loves giraffes. That's a new one. Welcome. Hey Oz. Hey Ziggs. Yes, we did. A little. I love you too, Tawanda. Do I have enough mods tonight? Crystal, it's been a long day. What's up, Bobby? Hey, Cheryl. See, everything works on this one. New chat box. Hey, Kim. Hey, Sherry. Driving and listening. What's up, Alexandra? Figure I'll change things around a little. Hey, Kim. Hey, Monica. Hey, Val. Yeah, I got enough mods for now. Giraffe shoes? Hey, Earthbound. I know, right? I agree, Linda. What's up, Pam? I have mixed views, actually. JS loves giraffes. Like, I was so busy today and work was busy. I didn't get a chance to watch the trial as it was. So I was getting bits and pieces of it afterwards. Hey, Pumpkin. And some interesting stuff. And I just got done listening to the phone calls between them. Hey, Rad Story. So we got 30 more people and then I'll start. That would be a good name, Pumpkin Hugs. Maybe the history with essay evidence, but the evidence in this case is weak. The evidence in this case is very weak. I no longer have trials. Closing arguments are tomorrow, right? I know, Earthbound, they're horrible. Absolutely horrible to try to understand. Yeah, you could say you think you did it. It's just, you know what it is? It's like so hard when you have meth heads and you have liars, and then you have witnesses that are liars and meth heads, and it's hard. First question, who? That is Courtney's dad. Hey, Nana. So if I don't hit 80 soon, then I will, then I'll start. It is her father. Finish on modding on another channel. Okay, hey SMS. Court TV transcripts, yes. I still haven't gotten through the transcripts. It's really just the sound that's like impossible to understand. The Mutant Hillbillies. Hey, Pam. Yeah, didn't you get that feeling? Hey, Blue Eyes, like every single witness was high as a kite. No, that was Courtney's father. The one with the mullet is Courtney's dad. Probably her uncle and her grandfather as well, but yeah, that's her father. See, I think there is some confusion though on him. So that's why I'm going to get into it once we're getting close. Getting close to 100. So how are you guys today? I can't believe how that video last night, that was I had like 4,000 views by the time it finished. Like, it didn't even done processing. It was at like 4,000 already. I was like, holy crap. This morning it was like a 5,000. I haven't had a video do that since Making a Murderer. Bella Mia, I'm going to get into that. I totally agree with you. It has been a busy day, and it's Monday, which sucks. Don't forget your thumb up. I love you too, Alexandra. You stayed high up there all night, Laura. I wish I was high. No. Hey, Amanda T. I'm really following the Malaya Davis case. I just sort of think for that. But I was really surprised at how many views it got, like, before it even closed. I mean, it turned out to be a good night. It turned out to be a great video. Hope they get charged for the baby. Not so fast, JS. Yeah. Well, I knew my numbers stay up, but usually it's not that high, like, immediately. I felt like James Charles for a moment. That whole thing is so dumb. I was at work today and I tried really hard to watch Toddy's video. Just to like be in the inn to see what it was about. I kept skipping through. I was like, this is so boring. And so dramatic. And if she wasn't so pretty, I think it would be much harder to watch. But she's beautiful. But just watching it, I'm like, okay, get to the point already. There is no point in this. This is like 2 hours of nothingness. I'm not sure everyone knows about this channel. That is true. Ainsley, he's the makeup guy, the 19-year-old makeup guy who was in this big showdown with this girl, Toddy. And he lost like 2 million subscribers, but I think it's more. I think he lost like 5 million. Because he had a fight with her and he didn't back her and he got greedy and it's really weird. But I wanted to be in the inn. I didn't want to be the only people that didn't know who the fuck Toddy was. My daughter likes James Charles. But, you know, I have to be like cool with my kids. Like, she freaked out when I didn't know who Jeffree Star was. She's like, how do you not know who Jeffree Star is? I don't know. Who's Jeffree Star? He's like, you buy his makeup all the time. You have to like him. Okay. So I watched them. So, you know, I have to be like that cool mom. All right, so we're at 102. We're at 104. Let's get this party started. So, the first thing I'm going to start with is the audio tapes. Only because I just got done listening to them. I was listening to them when I was doing my hair. And I don't know who y'all talking about. I'll post it. Jeffree Star is about 50 miles from me right now. Yep, 107. I have to say that grandmother, 2 weeks, was lying when she kicked out her nephew. That was her daughter's BF when she chose as her best friend because they smoked the blunt together. Hey, Angel Pepper. James Charles and Alexa. I know, I saw that today. My kid's calling me get the deets. No, if I did, I wanted to be like in the end and find out what the hell all this hubbub was about. And considering I love makeup, you know, I should know. But I'll explain all that afterwards. So here's the deal. So I just listened to the audio tapes. And one of the things that I think people might get people that, if you've never talked to somebody in jail, they're not allowed to like cry because then they're going to be total pussies. They have to maintain a certain level of normalism, I guess you want to call it. I don't know what the right word is, but they want to maintain a certain level of discreetness, no emotion. They can't get loud. So a lot of people may think like, well, he wasn't as emotional as she was, or he wasn't as emotional as he should be. But there's a reason for that. He really can't be. If you're like total emotional wreck in jail, you're gonna get fucking destroyed in jail. So you kind of really have to play it cool. So you can tell that he wanted to yell at certain times, and then other times he didn't want to yell. He wanted to keep it cool. So that's kind of was interesting as well. That, you know, he kept it way more cooler than she was. Now, you also have to take into consideration he hasn't been high. She was. So he's been in jail for probably 2 months at that point, begging her to stay by his side, which she kind of should. I mean, they were kind of in this together. And they were both getting high together. The impression I got is that they were high like all the time. How her baby came out clean, I have no idea. But it's like, it's kind of weird to me that she was so over emotional. I don't know, maybe she was coming down from a drug high, but she just seemed too over emotional. Like, don't get me wrong, I know that someone's going to be like that if you lose a baby, but it almost seemed like it was too much because she wasn't exactly the greatest mom, and that was evident from constantly dropping her kids off at her at, you know, the cousin's house. I think they said she had the baby like 6 days out of the 15 that she was around. So, you know, she wasn't exactly world's greatest mom. They said the trailer was a mess, and she had another daughter and didn't seem to matter. So it was kind of like, I don't know, I kind of felt like she was a little over dramatic. If it was a normal situation and a mom got like that, I get it. But of course he was denying it. He's not exactly going to say, yeah, I did it. I know, Linda, but that's like a separate issue. I'm just going over the highlights of the trial today. And it just, Chris knows how to play the game. He does. But that's what I'm saying. Like, anyone in jail, they have to know how to play that game. They don't have a choice. So I don't fault him for that at all. I really don't. But also, as you guys know, when she was looking for the baby, she not only was looking for him, but she was like calling her name. You can't call a 15-day-old baby's name and expect them to answer. They wouldn't even cuckoo yet. So that's kind of what I got from the tapes. I didn't feel that they were so telling. Like, a lot of people thought they were very telling. I didn't really get the impression that they were so telling. I get the impression more that they were, she was high, or she was coming down from being high, and he was just maintaining jail presence. Okay, so JS says, I don't think the mom had anything to do with it. Interesting. I don't know. I really don't know. Now, let's say he did it. Shouldn't she be charged with negligence? Shouldn't she be charged with something? Or you think she should just be let off and go home and go get high all the time and take care of a daughter? See, that's where I think this jury's going to hang them. I can't say for sure, but I think with the tattoos on his face, the history, you know, you get the right jurors or the wrong jurors, whatever, they may say, you know, hey, they're two meth heads, fucking lock them away forever. You know, lock them away as long as we can, just because they're meth heads. So I'm going to talk about what you guys think the jury's going to do tomorrow after I lay out everything. Um, so I took some notes. Bear with me a second. All right. So because I saw it in pieces, I don't have this like in an exact order. So I really, honestly, I don't know who went first and who didn't. But I'm going to start with Shane Kidd. So you're probably wondering who Shane Kidd is. Shane Kidd is, if you remember, she had gotten a phone call where they said that they believed that it was somebody else who killed the baby, who broke into the house or something and killed the baby. What we learned today, though, is that there was a window broken or something, and because I didn't see the whole thing, this may have been discussed at like the beginning of the trial, but it was something about had the window break. And I don't know if they had originally claimed that the window broke because they were, because somebody had broke in. But I don't think those trailers are going to have really good locks anyway. So that's, not that big of a deal. But it seems that the window broke or something broke, or the door, I don't know what it was, because Chris threw a TV through it. So that established that he's got anger issues. I know people that don't have anger issues that have thrown TVs through windows, and they just get so aggravated that once. Now you add in the adrenaline of meth, and anything is possible. So here comes Shane Kidd. He's got 6 kids. I don't know why all these people have so many kids. Do they have never heard of condoms? Have they never heard of just not having babies for all this protection? They did say how many different moms he had. I'm sure he has a bunch. Wouldn't even surprise me if her mom has a baby by him. She's got 7. So they never really made a connection, but he's 40 years old, and for some reason with a bunch of meth heads, I could totally see them sleeping together. I'm just saying. Not judging, just saying. So Shane was friends with his dad, with Chris's dad and Chris's uncle. For all we know, it's the same person. Shane, aka Burrito Boy. So he's known Chris since age 7. Does anyone know how old Chris is? Chris is in his 20s or 30s. Yeah, Chris threw a TV through it. 20s, I thought. 30, I think. Okay. Did you know that Craig Weatherford, Courtney's cousin, said that he had 5 kids with his wife? On his Facebook, he had 9 kids. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Men need to have something to be put into law. I know, for real. Hey, Ma, I just started. I started late tonight. Hey, Guy and Jackie. So, he explains that Chris had once hit his mom, and there was some kind of fight. I was like half listening to this, but it was some kind of fight between Chris and I think the guy's name was Matt. Well, some other guy. And there seemed to be this big fight or whatever. I didn't even pay attention when it was, because like I said, I was like half listening, but there was some kind of fight. So they asked Shane, like, what'd you do while they were fighting? He's like, well, I never got off Xbox. That would be my son. So he was like, well, I never got off Xbox, so who cares? What game were you playing? I was playing Call of Duty. Okay. Matt Lester. He said that Chris had beaten him up pretty bad, and, they just talked about the fight for about 10 or 15 minutes. The one thing I didn't like about Shane, he had such a fucking attitude. It was like, not only could he not be bothered to be there, but he just had such an attitude. Like, I don't know if he was high or he was aggravated or something, but he was just like an idiot. He had been charged. It comes out towards the end that he had been charged in 2009 for lying to police. He was charged in 2011 for lying to police. Then he was charged again in 2017 for lying to police. So the guy is not exactly credible. He's not somebody I'd put, all eggs in a basket and say, this guy's not going to lie to me. So they never asked really about his kids. He did say he had a job. I don't know what, I couldn't really understand it. Machinery, I don't know. I couldn't really understand what he was saying about a job. But yeah, you're right, Bella. He acted like he absolutely hated the court situation. He just didn't want to be there. He was fidgety, kept moving around. Not exactly how you want to be in court. And let me just tell you, this is by far the worst dress trial I have ever seen. When the defendant is the best dressed, that's a scary thought. Like, really scary. I don't know if nobody taught these people ever how to dress for court, but they must have, because Chris looked nice. Chris has a nice black suit on. Courtney's in some weird fucking outfit. I don't know. It looks like she tied a blanket around her. But he's the only one that's dressed pretty nice. The rest of them, I've never seen witnesses look so bad, ever. Even like low-life witnesses, at least they try to wear a dress or something. Not these guys. So, he was then asked, and I already knew the answer to this, but he was then asked if he had a warrant that was removed for him to talk to, I think it was Newton County detectives. So he was like, no. But I had, because I didn't watch this in order, I already knew that that was false statement. He tried to downplay that he was an informant, and I kind of understand why he would downplay he was an informant, but it kind of was aggravating that he was downplaying it so much. Like, of course you're going to know if you had a warrant removed. Of course you're going to announce it. I mean, of course you're not going to announce it, but of course you know. So the fact that he lied about that, it really, in my eyes, made him even worse of a witness, because he did lie. And there was no reason for him to lie. Just tell him the truth. Unless the people that he's an informant for told him, don't tell the truth because then you'll out yourself or whatever. But it turns out that he actually did have a warrant that he had removed so he could come speak in court or come talk to the detectives. So that was kind of messed up, really. And Brady, we're talking about the McNabb case, the McNabb trial. So he really couldn't keep his story straight, no matter who was questioning him. And I did not like him as a witness. If I was on that jury, I would not find him credible at all. I thought he was arrogant. I thought he was annoying. And I thought he lied. And his story just kept changing. But they asked him, would you be the one? Do you know that there were rumors circulating that it was you that killed the kid? And he basically gave the impression, like, why would I kill the kid? What good would I have to do to kill the baby? But then you listen to Chris and you listen to Courtney. Okay, well, like Chris said, she was my baby girl. Why would I kill her? Why would I want to kill my own daughter? So I get that. I totally get that. So that was pretty much everything about Shane Kidd, other than what the lying narcotics cop said. He was completely arrogant. And, all right, so let's move on to the lying narcotic cop. So this narcotics cop gets on the stand. His eyes looked a little methy too, but it was just the way his eyes are. I don't like this guy. I did not trust this guy. I think this was the worst cop they could have put up there. He did confirm that Courtney and Chris' story seemed to match the evidence. They were asking him, questioning him about Chris's Facebook post. It seems that he made a Facebook post at like 5 o'clock in the morning at 5:41. Then his dad called him at 9:30, and the text that you see is somewhere around 9:40, or you see the Facebook post at 9:30. Like, everything seemed to match up. The defense was saying everything matched up. When they asked him about it, he said something, but really it matched up. I mean, it's the way it was. So, because I didn't watch this in order, though, I kind of found it interesting that when you go back to Shane, who I'm pretty sure went before the trial, he was saying that Chris, there was a text or something at 7:41, and then Chris contacted him about an hour later, which was 8:41 or somewhere around there. But the detective after him, who I happen to see before him, but the detective after him was saying that the text messages coincided with the time that Chris and Courtney said that they were sleeping. And that was from 5 to 9. So I really have to go back and watch it again, because to me, neither one of them are credible. If I'm on that jury, neither one of them are worth a fuck. They're both lying. So Courtney or Chris's detective kind of got them in that, hey, you're lying. You're admit it, that the times that you guys have of the Facebook match exactly the story of what Chris and Courtney says. And the detective ended up saying yes. So the narcotics detective, though, also didn't seem like he wanted to tell the truth. Like, the way he was just bullshitting, it didn't seem like he really was looking for the truth. He kind of threw up the fact that Shane Kidd was an informant, but then he kind of backtracked by saying, oh, well, I've never contacted him. I've never got him anything off duty. I've never got him anything. He's just, it's just a guy I know around the street. So I don't know whose attorney it was, but one of them called him out on it and said, so aren't you telling me that was investigator for DA office? Father is Main Detective Alexander. He lied. He did lie. So then the court, the lawyer, and I'm not sure which one it was, but the lawyer had said, something's not right here, because isn't it true that Shane Kidd had a warrant, and you're sitting here saying that, isn't it true he had a warrant and you let that warrant go? You had his probation officer pull that warrant so he would come talk to us. And then he got like all fidgety. He's like, no, I don't know. I don't know if that really happened. But I found it really odd because, again, I saw it reversed. But Shane denied that. Shane went first. How do you deny that? And then for the cop to not know either, it just, to me, as a juror, it made them both completely not credible. Why is he lying, sticking up for a known felon? What information did this known felon give you that you're not releasing? So I didn't like that at all. He also said that Shane Kidd was not contacted by Chris McNabb at all. Come to find out that Shane was contacted. And the cop's totally downplaying it. Cop is full of shit. Cop is a moron. These like my side notes. He was then trying to get a hold of Shane Kidd, and Shane's probation officer dropped his warrant in order for him to come speak to the detective. And like I said, come on, that's a blatant fucking informant. There's no way around that. That is an informant. Like, that's what an informant does. Also, McNabb had texted it would still be a Facebook record side, even if Shane delete. Yeah, that was another thing. That these text messages that they supposedly had, or that Shane admitted to having at 7:41 and then 8:41, there were records that they never existed in Facebook. So even if Shane tried to delete them, because Shane, he was cool. He said he deletes all his messages, that he doesn't keep any Facebook messages. He just deletes them all unless they're from his kids. Those are the only ones he keeps. So it was so stupid. Like, it's one thing if you have a witness that lies, but then you have a cop that lies. Who the hell are you supposed to believe? So I didn't like that at all. I was like, this sucks, because to me, they're just both not credible. Like, both of them, just throw them out. Done. Defense attorneys stating that Shane changed his story. But lying cop is saying, nah, he didn't. Cop never heard any type of recordings. Stated Chris and Shane didn't know what to do with the body. So what that means is there was a point where from what I understood, is that Shane and Chris supposedly went into the woods with this bag, and Shane never asked what was in the bag. Chris just took the bag. I think he would know if there was a fucking baby in the bag, but took the bag and brought it outside. Here's where I have a problem with the story. Like, that's pretty much where the story ends. But my problem with the story is, if you have a baby that's dead in a bag that has already been beaten, there's going to be blood in the bag. You're going to see a trace of blood somewhere. There was no blood in the house that would cause this baby's head to be so beaten down, or, you know, the mouth wide open. There's going to be blood. I don't remember if they said there was tons of blood in the bag. Does anyone know if there were tons of blood in the bag? So McNabb's attorney had to bring out stuff, the DA's on or whatever. She tried to lie, and then DA investigator came next and got busted. BBT, I can imagine. There was no blood, right? I didn't think so. So, bag was taken before the baby was born. Oh, really? I thought... So, wait. So now I'm confused. So the bag was taken to the woods before the baby was even born? It may have been a closed head injury, but the mouth and stuff, there had to be some blood. Mac, that's what I'm saying. Either, but no matter what, you're still going to get some blood. And if a baby is in a bag, there's going to be blood in the bag. Small amounts on blanket because of the mouth. Oh, it's two different bags. Okay. Like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing. It's a blunt injury. Yes, there was blood on the blanket shirt. Well, the point that I was getting at is, was there a... Did they beat the kid inside the bag? Or did they kill the baby and then put him in the bag after? That's kind of the point I was getting at. Two different bags, not related. So they took a bag. Hey, Truth Seeker. So they took a bag to the woods, but he never asked what was in the bag. Come on. That doesn't even make sense. Jacket, shoes, and a bag was from a mat fight. I'm talking the one they brought in the woods. I thought Shane said they did that morning. Then I missed something when I was like reading. Sherry, that's what I'm saying. How did the leaves get next to the infant? I didn't get that far, Dreamer. They ran to the woods with the other guy's bag. Okay. The evidence that they submitted 2 weeks ago ever come back? I don't know. But Sherry, I'm with you on that. How would you possibly have a... how could you possibly kill a baby with such a bad skull fracture and not have it, and not have it, blood, or just a little bit of blood? I don't get that. But could you by shaking it? Shaking would not break skin. No, but they said that it had a skull fracture. There were 2 shirts and boxers and top of bag and baby wrapped in blue blanket. Because the head wasn't busted open, only mouth injuries. Did they say that you can do that from shaken baby syndrome? But it's important to know where he killed her. It honestly is. That's true. Facts don't always bleed. We're getting there, Nicola. You don't know anything about this case? So, they showed pics of her. They showed pics, and her attorney, let me just say, her attorney looks so out of it and so like uncomfortable with this whole case. I don't know if he never tried a baby case or what it was, but he just seemed so uncomfortable. Like you just looked at him and you're like, wow. Place of death hasn't been determined. That's the problem. I agree. You really think they're going to get off on technicalities? I don't think so. The baby didn't have to be beaten for this to happen. Alright. So then they asked McNabb if he was going to take the stand. And he denied it. So then they asked her if she was going to take the stand. She denied it. I know a lot of people are thinking that's a bad thing. Like if you have nothing to hide, then you should take the stand. It's actually not true. Lawyers will recommend you not taking a stand. And the reason why is, even if you're innocent, if you're completely innocent, why don't you want to take a stand? Because the jury is looking at you. And if you make one false move, you make one false smile, there could be one juror who, based on evidence, decided that you were innocent. But if you make one false move, you look at somebody wrong, you look like you're smirking, you could blow your whole case and they could automatically change it to guilty. So even the most innocent people, they will tell you, do not take the stand. So I don't blame them for not taking the stand. And I think a lot of people automatically think they're guilty because they didn't take the stand, and that's not true. They won't remember the detail. That's true. I can see why he deletes. He's a dope man. The bag was turned to GBI and the Newton County didn't request it to be tested. It just got turned in 2 weeks ago. Dad wouldn't look at the pic, but the mom did for a bit. See, he was given... Oh, I saw the same glasses. Hey, Carly. The state really didn't prove much, so best not let defendants screw up. And I agree with you. So that was pretty much what happened today. And then the judge went through... The judge was actually pretty funny. He made some funny jokes at the jury. He felt like it was best if they go home and pretty much after a half a day today, get a good rest and come back tomorrow for for a decision. Didn't want them to go until 5. No, closing arguments are tomorrow. Didn't want them to talk to anybody. Didn't sequester them, but just said, don't look at any social media. Don't do any research. Don't do any of this. But then he made a couple of jokes. I've never seen a judge make jokes during a trial, but I mean, he seemed like a really nice, fair judge. Too bad he doesn't make the decision, but he really does seem like a nice, fair judge. Like he wasn't, like he didn't want to be there or anything like that. Like he seemed really nice. Just saying. Her attorney's awful, I know. Her attorney wants no part of this case at all whatsoever. Some object could have been slammed into the baby's head or slammed into something caused no blood. Children are well. I'm sorry, Carly. SMS would not. Mom did for a bit. All right. So here's the questions that I have for you guys. These are questions I'm posing. 1, who do you think did it? Do you think Chris did it? Do you think Mom did it? Do you think they did it together? Or do you think somebody else did it? 2, did I miss any crazy points of my notes? Did I forget anything big? Her attorney cried more than his client. I agree with you. Next. If you think he did it, well, let me do one at a time. Do you think he did it, she did it, or somebody on the outside did it? Dad did it, Chris. Whole family's got to go. Yeah, they're court-appointed attorneys, Blue Eyes. Yeah, her attorney can't handle the photos. There's no doubt about that. They cannot handle them. Do you think the baby could have been accidentally dropped? It's possible, but what happened to the mouth? Chris did it, Mom. Okay, so that's 1. Chris did it. Dad already has sentenced himself to a life of hard labor with those face tattoos. That's true, Ainsley. I want to play it safe and see what you think. Nicola. Oh, it's her attorney's paid for? Who paid for her attorney? Chris didn't. Courtney knows what happened. That's 2. I agree. Mom didn't. Chris set up. He's the bad guy. Okay. Baby was thrown. Oh, I'm sorry, Carly. Dad, both are saying that she did it and is setting him up. Both know what happened. Coming from a former Avery Gilder until I discovered. Ah, thanks, Nicola. I think they both. So it's kind of even between Red Dragon. You're the only one that's there. Second one that said that. Okay. So most people think that they were in this together and that he did it and she knew about it. And that's pretty much how they're being charged. Now, second question. How do you think it happened? Barbie, I was thinking that too, that she was super jealous of the other Courtney. And I didn't get a chance to go through more of that because I saw in a screenshot that she may have been, did she take the stand at all? I think he may have snapped and she knows and was threatened to shut up. Both in a fit of rage at each other. That's one theory. He was in a meth come down and snapped. So for everyone that thinks that he snapped, why didn't he ever snap on his first daughter? 2-year-olds can be a lot more annoying than a baby. So why didn't he ever snap on her? Baby cried. She hit her head by a dull force and screeched and died. As a result, he took baby to woods in a bag. But he didn't because the first cop search, the baby wasn't there. Think her dad had something to do with it. He lost it, hit the baby. I think she did it out of jealousy. Dropped and kicked, but not intentionally. So sad. Maybe he wasn't on meth then. No, he was. I think he lost temper. And there's a reason I'm asking everybody. There's an end result. Third question. He hit baby, then brought her after. That's what I think, Mac. Or one of them hit her. Under more pressure and drug-induced. Smirk on her face when she heard the other Courtney call. Told me a lot about her jealousy. I agree. See, I'm glad you said that, though, Truth Seeker, because I was thinking that, too. What if she got pissed at him and said, you know, and ended up hurting the baby in the process, but then he covered for her kind of thing? Like, maybe she was just really jealous and really high, and, you know, maybe he was holding his daughter and she threw something at him and it hit the baby in the head. Like, something like that. How can their stories be consistent and both high and not high? One of the deaf attorneys was a former DA, think Bell attorney. Oh, he's horrible. Oh, thank you, Carly. Never saw so many orange jumpsuits in one trial. He did seem more upset, but that could be, he was in jail longer. He's facing more charges. He's facing longer time. I mean, don't forget, I've said this before, they've been in jail a long time. You could tell by her weight gain. I mean, they've seriously been in jail a lot longer. Like, drugs are totally out of their system. They've had plenty of time to think. They're getting comfy in their new lives. Someone's saying that she could have activated the Facebook account once he went to sleep to set him up. What Why didn't the dogs find a baby? Because I don't think the baby was there at first. Oh, even with Chris's scent, they couldn't find a baby. That I don't know that answer. That's an interesting point, though. Dreamer says it. Why didn't the dogs find baby first day, even with Chris's scent? Possible Ninja Warriors from Jodi Arias had something to do with it. I think Ken Kratz did it. He's so manipulative. I don't know about that, Crystal. I think he lost temper. Okay. So, another question is, he's in jail till 2030 on probation revoked. Here's another question. Is there any... Do you guys believe that the prosecution stated their case? It was Annie the nanny, I agree. I don't think the baby was there on Saturday. I think one of the meth heads put the baby there. I think he was having an affair with Casey Anthony. I think she was there that night. Told him exactly how to do it. Okay. As best as they could. No, not by a long shot. No, hell no, not well. Barbara does. Barbara thinks she does. Okay. They suck. They dropped the ball. Not beyond a reasonable doubt. Carol, so we only have 2 yeses. So I'm going to ask Carol and Barbara Leon, what makes you think beyond that they proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt? I'm thinking that NK was there and I clearly made him do it. I think so. Lee's coming down off meth, had to wake the baby. Maybe in his first daughter he wasn't a dick, but he was. Look at the family. They've been doing meth a long time. Fair, they didn't have much to work with. The tats. Lesser charged. I believe the cops are. Maybe first kid was not. First kid is his. Her family are out to get him. So here's the reason I'm asking, though. What I kind of find interesting is we've all seen the exact same things that the jury's seen. There's nothing that the jury sees that we haven't seen. So if you were on that jury, would you go with your instinct or would you go with the facts that the case? Because if you go with the facts of the case, these 2 people are walking free. So what would you do if you were on that jury? Earthbound, I have no idea. They're like the stupidest tats ever. Facebook Messenger chick was first witness today. She didn't know what talking about. She said she can't unblock 47 hours. Can't reblock if unblocked for 48 hours. This is true. Both babies' DNA was done. Instinct back with facts, as few as they are. But what facts? You guys just said that there's not enough reasonable doubt. I would follow the law and not convict unless I knew beyond a reasonable doubt. Thank you, Jules. And that's the way it should be. Locals say part of the Ghostface gang. I would call for a mistrial. Wouldn't go with just my gut. Good answer, Aries. Just don't think he did it. She set him up and he did it. I don't think he would take up for her. Sadly, I would vote with the law. How do you figure they would go free? But it doesn't matter. If you get, they could be acquitted because according to what we've seen and the evidence presented, they should not be held accountable. You know, they maybe be able to be held accountable on whatchamacallit? Like they could be held accountable on lying or something like that, or negligence, but there's no real, jail time with it. But I don't think that the state proved that case at all. They don't even know how the baby died where the baby died, nothing. There's just no way you can convict. Judge is biased in a lot of ways. He should have had separate trials, and he lied to attorneys, saying he would let the jury decide. My heart says guilty. My head says I would have to make a decision while in jury. By law, they should walk due to reasonable doubt. Agreed. Child endangerment. That's what I was thinking of. Have to go with the law. Not enough presented for a conviction of murder. That's why so many charges to find on. They're ultimately responsible. They had to be together to see if one would turn on the other. Right now, they should walk. I'd still convict. Don't let me be in your trial. See, but the point of that, Linda, and this is the problem with our justice system and our jury system, is as much as we want our jury system to work, like really, as much as we want it to work, the problem is it doesn't work a lot. Shane Kidd told about Text 741 being used by the state helps Bell but hurts McNabb. Exactly. How is a big question followed by who? There are so many charges, but it's a matter of, like, her charges, if she doesn't get charged with accomplice to murder or anything like that, she could be free in a year. And that's, BL, that's another thing that I've noticed with trials. And I don't know if it's done on purpose or if it's something that just kind of happens. But you ever notice, like, a baby doesn't carry the same rules as, like, an adult? Is that, like, because they're not on the earth long enough? Do you know what I'm saying? It's just weird to me. Facts over feelings. They don't have enough to convict on murder. They absolutely don't. First canine went to look for a live body. You know, like, a baby seems to mean less than... It does mean less. Mac, is Canada like that too? Because in the U.S., I've noticed that more and more. Hey, Lucia. I don't see you getting your daughter back after this issue. Life is alive. And I agree with you. But yeah, it seems babies are just... They just don't convict enough time. It's really weird. First canine was a tracking dog. They found out 2 very experienced GBI cadaver dogs. No one found same areas. Canada doesn't even have the death penalty. I understand, but I say neither walk. They're responsible. We'll see. But Sherry, remember, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And if you can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt, then our jury system says you need to walk. And I know it sounds horrible, and it sounds like it shouldn't be like that, but the truth is it has to be like that. I mean, we can't have a system that's not like that. Because what if it was you in jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be able to prove that reasonable doubt that there's no way that you can convict them. And I'm sorry, but when you have a cop that lies as bad as that cop lied today, and then you have an informant that's a liar too, that's a known police liar, yeah, I got problems with that. See, you think Courtney did it, but can they prove it? No. The fact that they couldn't even be responsible parents for 2 weeks, this child was alive, show me they should both pay. But Barbie, there's a lot of parents that are like that don't pay. It doesn't mean they're dead. You know, it doesn't mean their kid's dead. I have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt on each. I agree. Like, I definitely think they're going to get charged with something, but I would truly hate to think that he's going to get charged on, that he's going to end up getting charged on, like, his look, you know, like, he'll get charged for the tattoos. Reasonable doubt can be confusing, has to be reasonable. In one state, the baby was 15, too old for an abortion. Reckless abandonment. Courtney does not deserve to have her daughter back. Oh, I agree with you, JS. She absolutely doesn't. Some states under 12 or so automatically first degree. No, they would have been dumb to charge first degree because they have no murder. They can't say it was a murder. And if they would have charged them with first degree murder, first degree is intentional homicide. And I'm sure that they didn't mean to kill the baby. They would have absolutely walked just like Casey Anthony. Remember the Brianna Lopez case? Didn't they serve only a short time and the baby was beaten horribly? Or look at the ones from Canada. Paul, I forgot his last name. The blonde guy, the Ken and Barbie. She only did like 10 years and she's out. And she had her own kids and got married and the whole 9 yards. I forgot their names. No, they're all charged with second degree. Maybe an accidental or if she died or something. Exactly. Courtney gave up parental rights long ago. She did? Of her daughter? Methadone is different. Yeah, methamphetamine and methadone are night and day. Paul Bernardo. Thank you, Judge Judy. Bernardo and Homolka. R10 equals your 20. Oh, no shit. Isn't methadone used to get addicts off? Methadone is used to get addicts off heroin. It's like, it's totally different than methamphetamine. Paul Bernardo, yep. Mom's out. No, Dad's in jail for life. Bernardo's in there for life. It's Alexi. And that's another thing. They never brought up forensic evidence in this case. They never talked about the forensics. There was like nothing. It was just a bunch of witnesses that were all meth heads. Her father has custody. Yeah. I didn't know she gave up her rights, though. Life here is 20 years, many years. Dad and uncle in for life. Life is not life here like it is there. Oh, yeah, life here is life. Now, you could get like 25 to life, and then you're only doing like 15, but it also depends on the state. Barbie, I did hear the phone conversations. And I spoke about them in the beginning of the video. You really can't get much from that. Seemed to be stable for that little girl. Who was stable? I don't think they did talk forensics. Oh, nothing was submitted, though? Well, what good is that? I'm telling you, I think the jury's going to hang him. Witnesses of meth use and brought from jail to the credit. That's what I'm saying. But, you know, even the cop sucks. That was the problem. Even the cops were horrible. Disgusting my conception is a miracle in itself. That's true. And they all had so many damn kids. If I'm the defendant, I hope jurors follow the law. I agree. Prosecutor's side hasn't really shown any evidence. Didn't even secure the crime scene. No log. Exactly. Got it wrong, but glad you're following this one. We'll read and be back. Good night, Sherry. In the beginning, Clarissa, the 2-year-old, was taken from Tim and put into foster care. Courtney didn't want to give up her rights. Then Tim fought to get her back. They did scrap evidence big time. But a sweet 2-week-old baby died. It was a nurse from when she was born. Present, I missed it. I'm not sure. Just Courtney smug look after the first. No, I didn't. I was listening to it. I didn't watch it. I like to have known the health of the baby. The baby was actually healthy when she was born. She was a little underweight, but she was healthy. Yeah, I read the charges on them. I can find them. Hold on a second. All right, he's being charged with malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, murder in the second degree, aggravated battery, first degree cruelty to children, second degree cruelty to children, and concealing the death of another. Bell faces charges of murder in the second degree cruelty to children, and contributing to the deprivation of a minor. My personal opinion is she's absolutely going to get charged with second degree cruelty to children and contributing to the deprivation of a minor. He is definitely going to get charged with second degree cruelty to children and possibly concealing the death of another. First degree cruelty to children. I don't think that either one of them should be charged with murder simply because there's no proof. How do I watch it? If you go on YouTube, News 11 or something has it. Yeah, it's channel 11. I think they're the only ones that have it. Yeah, Court TV, but there's so many commercials. And final question. What do you guys think? How long you think the jury's going to take? I agree with Ains. I totally agree with you, Ainsley. Ainsley says the phone call was so suspect. Why all of a sudden does a baby become your world and can't go on without her? But baby spent 6 days out of 15 with her when she was alive. I agree, Barbie. Yeah, I couldn't charge either one with murder. They don't even have a cause of death. I mean, they have blunt force trauma, but that's not really a cause of death. And do you think that they're going to be convicted based on looks? Do you think he's going to be convicted based on looks or the fact that they're meth heads? Have we even seen what... We haven't even seen what the jury looks like, do we? Have we? Okay, I watched a video today of the coroner, and she read the doctor's file, and she said no complications in delivery, went home as a normal baby do. If there's anything that makes me believe Courtney killed baby. 1.5 days, jury may not be able to agree. See, I don't know. I think the jury's going to be out fast. I think they're going to do it by the end of the day. I think it's going to take a few hours, and they're going to be done. Maybe convicted on light. That's what I'm saying, Shella. I really hope they're not convicted of murder based on the law. Sure matter, but they may. How do I think the jury's gonna vote? I don't know. I think that they're gonna be charged under circumstance. I think they're going to be charged because that's what they do. I think they're probably going to be charged of murder based on the wrong things. But what they shouldn't do, I don't believe that they should be charged with murder. I think they should be charged with the other things, but I don't think they should be charged with murder. I really don't think the jury stated their case. Country would fail us if they can decide our future on looks. It is true, but unfortunately it happens all the time. Valerie would convict them both. The only proof they showed was meth use in a filthy home. Child endangerment is the only charge a jury can give at this point. Legally, I agree with you, Pumpkin. But, then Casey Anthony comes into play. They let that child murderer go. I'm telling you, it's going to be an interesting jury. Because if the jury comes back quickly with murder charges, they're wrong. And then, they based them on looks or family or, nature or whatever. See, but not really, because it's not so much a matter of guilt or innocence, because the state hasn't been able to prove it. And I don't think that they should be tried with murder when the state can't prove that they did it. No, Florida, I don't agree with that, BL. I think Casey Anthony had a wonderful jury. I think they had a jury that really went with the law, and they didn't go with, Casey's looks, and they didn't go with anything. They went with the point that the prosecution could not do that case. They could not prove that case. There's way more circumstantial evidence with Casey. They are both guilty of this baby. Hey, Potty Mouth. You should do a jury watch on your channel. I know, but I work during the day. That's the problem. We need trials like in the afternoon. Okay, it's good to clarify, because calling it felony murder makes it confusing. It's definitely not first-degree murder. Can they not be charged with neglect? Well, that's not what one of their charges are. But Georgia, honestly, they may have second-degree cruelty to children or contributing deprivation of a minor. That could somehow come into, the it could come into neglect. I wish I could quit my job. Believe me, I wish I could. Shit, I'd be doing this stuff full time. That's the goal, though. So you got to sign up for Patreon. I think they believe Chris was guilty in the beginning because of his jail history, his tattoos, being on meth, knowing his temper. Never really investigated the case as well as Renee Scott. I absolutely agree with that. I've been thrown off ever since she called for the baby in the body cam in the video. Georgia does have weird charges. I agree with you. That's why I'm saying the contributing deprivation of a minor is basically neglect, I think. I always like to reserve the right to change my mind at any time with new facts. Absolutely. Guy, I did work for a lawyer for a little while. I had to work off some of my fees for my own custody fight. After making a murder, I said I was going to be a lawyer. I would be almost finished already. All I need is 3 years of law school. I'm afraid of the FCATs. As in this chat, so many differing opinions. See, that's the thing, Letha. That's why my whole thing is, what makes this interesting, there's no clear cut. Everybody's got a different opinion. That was why I was asking all different questions. When you have certain cases, everyone can agree. Yes, they prove their case. Yes, that's the way it is. And it hasn't been like that. It's crazy. And when you have a jury, or when you do it like this, and there's so many different opinions, that the state did not prove their case at all. LSAT's now they're a breeze. It says the girl in Canada. They look like brother and sister, not cousin. And that's the other thing. I wonder how much the incest part of it is going to play. There's nothing positive about them in society. They're meth heads. They're first cousins. They go against everything that society is. So they may just throw them away. Throw them away, the key, and keep them locked up because they're not contributing anything to society. That's possible too. It could play big. And, I noticed that the newspaper is not honing in on it. See photo with the bag in it that the baby was ultimately found in. Photo was at hospital. Bag is in corner of photo. Wow. I think they might compromise and all agree to other charges. None of that is legal in the state. No. Incest is not legal in that state. I don't think incest of first cousins is legal anywhere. But it's just one of the other things I noticed about this case that you can't not keep in mind is that if you look at how many kids these people produced, this one's got 9, this one's got 7, this one's got 5, this one's got 4, this one's got 6. It should put a wake-up call. You know what I wanted to look at? That was what I wanted to look at. Hold on. See, it's not too horrendous. Covington, Georgia has a population of 13.7 thousand people with a median age of 34. A median household income of $39,959. That's not too bad. The average income of Covington resident is $20,000. The U.S. average is $28,000. The median household income in Covington resident is $32,000. Average is $53,000. Yeah, so it's pretty poor. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get second-degree murder. I really don't. 2 Facebook pages on the case have interesting conversation and opinion. The girl that was on the stand, Lauren Mackey, even gives her opinion. She said the jail phone call put the nail in the coffin. Nail in the coffin that he's guilty or she is. Lots of rumors stuff on Facebook, like immediately it was on where so forth. Poor is considered $20,000 a year. Oh, it's $24,000 and less. I don't know. I'm poor, and the income levels by me are extremely high. They're like 90,000 and 110. So what's Facebook saying? Is it saying that he's guilty or she's guilty or both? I don't know. I don't see the murder charge sticking. I just don't. Medicaid fate. Oh, of course. But I'm just saying, all this state help, it would be cheaper to just get an abortion. And she was young. Wasn't she like 28? She's already had 2 kids. Her mom has 7 kids, so I'm sure she wasn't done. I just can't imagine sleeping with your first cousin. I think of my first cousins. I'm like, ew. Jeremy, I've hung on the interviews. No, people get first. He's charged with first. He's not charged with first. He's only charged with second, BBT. Oh, I took it to, I read it. I took it from the actual trial. Charges are he's facing malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, murder in the second degree. Oh, maybe the 2 counts of felony murder. Murder in the second degree, aggravated battery, first degree cruelty to children, second degree cruelty to children, and concealing the death of another. Yeah, I don't know if the kid is normal. And I don't know who else had incest. Linda, that's exactly what I'm saying. Just amongst their close family with all these damn babies. I know your boyfriend is cheating on you with your mom, who's also his aunt, and oh, it's just weird and freaky. Like gross. I don't know. Let me check. I was thinking that too. A person commits the offense of murder when, in the commission of a felony, he or she causes the death of another human being, irrespective of malice. See, I don't think he's going to get charged with that. I really don't. Because listen to Georgia law is felony murder is a person commits the offense of murder when, in the commission of a felony, he or she charges the death of another. So I don't see how he's getting felony murder because he wasn't like doing anything unless his meth use is considered a felony. That's the only way that he could be charged with that. Yeah, I don't think he'll get that either. I don't think he'll be charged with that. I mean, I don't think he'll get convicted of that. But that's one of his charges. Malice murder. See, and he's charged with 2 counts of felony murder. Not 1, but 2. And I'm pretty... I know second-degree murder is... when it didn't mean to happen. Malice murder is a criminal offense in the U.S. of Georgia committed when a homicide is done with express or implied malice. I don't think he's going to get charged with that either. So think about that. We have malice murder, which means that it's committed in a homicide which is done with implied malice. See, Dreamer, that I think it's a long shot, though. Save it, baby, don't do meth. But I think it's a long shot. Then you have felony murder, which charged 2 counts, which should definitely be not guilty. I meant convicted. I'm going to assume the meth. And then second degree, unless it's different, but second degree should be by accident. And second degree carried the charges of 10 to 30. Oh, so check this out. Check this out. If he gets charged with malice murder or felony murder, it's death. If he gets charged with malice murder, then he gets the death sentence. He could get life without parole or life with parole after 30 years. So if he gets charged with malice murder, that's the death penalty. But I don't see him getting charged with malice murder. I really don't. So yeah, you're right, BBT. You're 100% right. I'm surprised they're not getting involuntary manslaughter or voluntary manslaughter. Surprised they didn't throw that charge in. Death penalty off the table in this one. Are you sure, Dreamer? Did they say that? Because he's charged with 2 counts of felony murder. And 1 count of malice murder. And then for her... First-degree cruelty to children is classified as a felony in Georgia, and the penalty can include a prison sentence of 5 to 20. Second-degree cruelty to children, when a person with criminal negligence causes a child less than 18 years old cruel or excessive physical or mental pain. So she's being charged with her other daughter, I guess. So it's like 5 to 10. Good night, cats meow. I'm actually shutting down in a minute. I'm really tired. Why would they not both be charged? I don't know. But her charges are definitely a lot less. My guess, I think she's going to do about 5 years. Maybe 10. Disappointing. Why you're charging murder charges and not her? Because she didn't get arrested until after. She got arrested in January of 2018. He was arrested in October of 2017. I think they really put like her as an accomplice, not the actual doing. Not so much. If they didn't run it consecutively and they charged her separately, not charged, convicted her separately and it wasn't concurrent, she can actually do 20 years. I think mom will get 1 year and dad depends. No, I think she'll get more than one. We're having a great time, Laura. I know, Carol. I'm just tired. What did they find to charge her after? I don't know. Someone said that he rolled on her. I wonder if any of the other mother's 7 kids belong to Chris. Ew. I know, Carol. I'm really tired. I actually, you know what I did today at work? Because, I work at home. I actually took a pillow. I was so tired this morning. So I had like an hour of sleep. I literally took a pillow and put it on my desk and fell asleep till my phone rang. It was wonderful. I needed like that half hour. In the Facebook group, they're saying that since the death of Kalea, Clarissa has been very different since she was there when it happened. Oh, I'm sure. Should be 10 and a tubal. I am sleepy. And that's another thing. What's happening to this 2-year-old? Is she getting help? Is she in counseling? Probably not. What Facebook group is it, Renee? Meth heads unite. Oh my God, oh blue eyes. I never get 9 hours, ever. She will go to GPA, I think. Oh, grandpa. Probably remove the daughter. I wonder. I do wonder. Meth is bad, it is. Stays involved, they're probably taking care of her. I'm an appointment. Maybe that was my mistake. I should have had 12 kids. Not 12, but I should have had like 4 kids and just lived off welfare. No, I'm just kidding. The dad wants her. Laura, you have to go get your rest. You do a lot of work on YouTube alone. I know. And a lot of drama. Drama, drama, drama. I know nothing about it. You know nothing about drama? That's a good thing. Yeah, not the dad. Her dad has her now. The parents aren't together, though, right? You think her dad's her grandpa, too? No sleep on drama nights. I hear you. It's crazy. That sounds horrible. I did drugs when I was younger. I thank God I never came across it. Yeah, I am too, actually. Thank you, Renee. I'll check it out. Courtney said herself, the older that has changed, but she also was older and not around her mom. No more drama, not participating. Ozzy, I wish it was that simple. Thanks, you're welcome. Tomorrow's it. Verdict watch. If what I'll agree to is if the jury doesn't come back after I get off of work, then I could stream it, and I don't really have anything to do tomorrow, so I could do verdict watch then. Not a problem. I just can't do it while I'm at work, obviously. Carol, I may do like, did you get my Facebook? Angel, I haven't looked. But I'll probably do a verdict watch depending on what time the jury goes into deliberations. So if the jury goes into deliberations, depending on what happens in the morning, if it lasts till after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm in. I forgot about that. I could get a strike. See, I need a case here that I can actually go to and film myself. Get a media pass. This is an interesting trial. It really is. Just because it has everything. It has sex, drugs, rock and roll, incest. It just has everything. No more strikes. I don't actually have any strikes, Ozzy. I have like 0 strikes. I had 1 content ID. Yeah, I'm not... Like, Scott Wright could do it because he's got somebody there actually filming, like press crew. I could do that. But that's why I need a case here. Yeah, I won't do a clip. I've never seen Gray use clips. I'm going to look for cases here, like right in my area that I could do it with. But then again, I work, so I don't know how I would do it anyway. After closing our eyes, think the verdict will be later in the day. I hope so. You can get a press... I could get a press pass. That's what I'm saying. He shows no... See, I wouldn't risk showing news clips. Too dangerous. You can get shut down so fast. I'd be like, reporting to you live. Like to see Laura's opinions. If Chris found guilty of manslaughter, will they be happy? I don't know. I don't think they should. Guy Jackie, who could block you? I really don't think he should be charged with manslaughter or murder or anything. He should be charged with deprivation of a child and all that, but I don't think he should be charged with manslaughter. They did not prove their case at all. Not even like remotely close. They don't even know how the baby died. There's no fingerprints. There's no forensics. There's no ballistics. There's no way. Is everything in Oklahoma? All right, Vixen. Definitely keep that in mind. Maybe eyes and ears. Anything happened in Sydney. That works. Stacy, help me look for cases. DA is a win is a win. That's true. So I'm going to go get some sleep. I want to thank you all for joining me. Tomorrow I will have Verdict Watch. Worst case scenario, we'll just kind of talk and bullshit. Like I said, I really don't have much to do tomorrow. They don't know how the baby died. They know it was blunt force trauma, but they don't know how it happened. They have no theories how it happened. It's horrible. Texas, you got covered? Right on. So, all right. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow after work. Figure around 1:30 Central Time. Well, 2 o'clock by the time I actually get up. You know, let the dog's out, so on and so forth. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? So, have a good night. And I'll give you a little outro, which I have to change around so it doesn't get boring. And I will see you guys tomorrow.